Welcome, everybody. Woo-hoo-hoo. Welcome. All right. Hex Day is coming up. Hex Day 1000. We are currently on day 999. That's right. You heard it, 999. We're about to hit day 1000. And, of course, we'll be covering that ticking over. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, of course, this is our party celebration show. It's going to be really, really cool. Congratulations to all the Hexicans, Richard Hart, and, of course, to Kyle, the dev, and all the other devs involved in the Hex contract. Congratulations to you. It is a big day. 1000 coming up. You're going to watch it live on this channel. And, of course, we're currently on day 999. Here we are on hex.com. And, of course, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. And, of course, how to buy is up the top right there. Make sure you're doing investment due diligence. Hex stakes average 38% returns a year. And, of course, we're counting down into 1,000 days of staking. And, of course, there we are. Hex daily stats there. We've got day 999, and of course, we've got the 23rd, 23 hours and 32 minutes is counting down the UTC clock there, counting down towards the day 1000. Woohoo! We're only, 28 minutes to go until that time, 1000 days, and what a branding thing that will be. Everyone will be saying, well, Hex is over 1,000 days old, and of course, just growing and growing all the time. So, very, very nice, as we say. It's very, very cool. So we're going to come back to that clock. Let's get into the chat, folks. Say hello to everybody in the house. We've got Lies Beneath. Hello, how are you today? Very good. Hello, all Hex, EHEX, PLS, and PLSX for the 100% Lies Beneath. Always a pleasure. And, of course, unprotected Hex in house. Big day for Hex. We are the less than 1,000 day staker class. Woo! I like it. That is so true. Really, really cool. And the cool thing about staking Hex, right? The cool thing about staking Hex is that you just forget about it, about the price. The price will go up and down, but you're getting those Hex payout per T-shares every single day. T-shares are the name of the game in terms of the yield. Obviously, the price is potentially massive upside on the price, but of course, you are just collecting that Hex payout per T-share. And of course, was it yesterday? The day before? We had the second highest day, wasn't it? 13.2 Hex. I think 24 Hex is the biggest day. And of course, I think we've had another day that was around 13 Hex. So pretty amazing. All right, we got North Face in house there. Hi, everybody. Good to see North Face. Brendan's in house. Woohoo! Day 1000. Yeah, it's coming up, ticking away there. And you can see the seconds ticking away. Crypto Kingdom in house. Let's go. Absolutely. Crypto military vet in the house too. Good to see everybody. Hex Force 1 has landed. Hey, Superman, Hedron staked. Icosa staked and decided to finally mint. Oh, what's an NFT? Hex Force 1. Well done. You've got all your bets covered there. Hex Force 1. All your bets covered. And Crypto Kingdom, OG Hexicans in the house. 2020 gang. Yeah, boy. I like that. Crypto Kingdom. Nice one. Tin top in house there. Woo-hoo. Hexicans. Yeah, it's been a long time. If you flash back to the beginning, to the 2nd of December 2019, and it was pretty incredible. Now, recently I posted that video. If you want to check it out, I posted a short video of Richard Hart's live stream when the AA lobby had launched and everything. So check that out on the channel. It's just a short video of some of the highlights of that 7-hour video. Richard Hart did a 7-hour video, and you can check that out on this channel. So we might actually look at that later on. We'll see how we get on. Now, we're also going to be covering today, we're going to get into the Hex Day stats, of course. We're going to be covering the market prices. We're going to be covering Icosa Day 13 results. So we'll be covering Icosa Day 13 results. And then one more day to go, and particularly for the What's NFTs. And we're going to talk about that. We're also going to get into liquid loans. Yes, we're going to be talking about liquid loans. They did an update. We're going to be talking about that with the sacrifice balances, with the DApp that's coming on Test Network. So we're going to talk about that. And I think those are kind of the highlights. But day 1000 definitely is at the forefront of today's update, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Matten's in house there. Who else is? Oh, we've got quite a few people jumping in the chat there. Hexon Choice. Woohoo! Good to see Hexon Choice. The party is on. And 1000 days is coming up. You can see it ticking away. 25 minutes to go. Sandy Beach in the house there with the Sandy Beach. Good to see Sandy. Hope you're enjoying your holiday out on the beaches there, Sandy. Jean-François Bossut in the house. Hello to everybody from rainy Noumea. It's been raining here in good old Kiwi land at the bottom of the world. Just keeps raining for it feels like forever. Feels like one of those dystopian movies, is it? Where it just rains every single day. and then you get half an hour of sunlight during one little period of time. It's a bit like that. I say that, but then today is super sunny, so maybe that's ended, because today is super sunny here in good old Kiwi land at the bottom of the world. Pumpkin Owl in the house, whoop, Hex and Pulse family. Hope everyone is well. Nice one, Pumpkin Owl. Good to see you. Other Hex Token and everybody else just popping in to celebrate 1,000 Hex Day. You know, you got your priorities, Sandy Beach. You may be living the dream on those beaches, but you have definitely got your priorities right there. Just saying hello to all, but heading to the beach as well, says Matt. Man, all of you guys live in the beach life. That's pretty awesome. And have a cocktail for me. Have a cocktail for me. X in the house there. Why does Hex remain so low? 5 cents in spite of all the recent RH marketing. Thanks, says XT. That's because people, there's risk off at the moment in the markets. And I covered that yesterday. So that's pretty much the market's got risk off, especially with that Fed update, which I covered in full yesterday. If you want to check out the Fed updates, they're all on this channel. We covered that with the full video speech of the chairman, Jerome Powell. So check that out. Let's go, Superman. 1,000 days of Hex. Yeah, we got it counting down. 23 minutes to go. Looking pretty good there. Good morning from Australia. Springs is in the air. Day 1,000 incoming, says Blobfish King. Yeah. Well, you know, in the north there, you've had this glorious summer, I'm sure. But good old down under in Australia, New Zealand, the Pacific Islands, we're looking to have our summer. And technically on the date calendar, we've got, 3 days left, 3.5 days to go until until winter ends. Our winter ends, and boy, has it been rainy. But I don't think the rain's going to stop. Typically keeps raining in September. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to move slowly towards summer here down under. Brazil says 1,000 days. Absolutely, Briz, you champion, you legend. Good to see you in the house. And North Face Hedron price prediction the next 2 years, says North Face. Well, I've done my Pumpamental spreadsheet. We'll have a look at that later on, North Face, when we get into. Remind me at the end. We'll get into that. But that's about as close as I'm going to get on that one. Brazil's in the house. Woohoo! And Grandad as well. Good morning. All right, so cool. We're at 7.5 minutes into the live stream. Let's get into it. We're going to come back to the clock here. We've got 22 minutes to go until day 1,000 ticks over. We're at day 999 at the moment, and we will get into the Hex daily results probably in about 40 minutes. So quite a bit away there. Let's jump over to the Hex price, see where we are at the moment. Hex obviously pulled down here, and of course we did have that proviso with the Jerome Powell. I covered it in depth, and of course that was pretty hawkish news, which is pretty negative for the markets, because as interest rates rise, as we move from cheap money to more expensive money, that means it's asset prices are inversely related to that, and of course they go down. Everything becomes more expensive, and so that's just the market prices that in. And so, yeah, it puts pressure on. Doesn't mean that we're not going to have relief rallies and things like that, but definitely more downward pressure on the markets on average. So that's kind of the sentiment. Now, we may very well recover maybe on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. We may have a negative opening day again on Monday for the stock market, crypto. We'll get influence, something like that. We could have that sort of scenario play out. And then maybe a bit of a relief rally. We'll see how we get on. We're going to have a quick look at the Hex currently at 4.2 cents. Let's have a quick look at the markets. The market's got BTC fighting to stay at 20K. Did pop below 20K, as I said, 19,750. Kind of that critical balance, critical support to hold. And at the moment, BTC fighting to stay at 20K. We've got Ethereum at 1494. And of course, that's down 1.24%. And BNB at $278, down 0.5% there. So BTC trying to hold on. That's pretty much where we are at this stage on that one. So let's jump back to the Hex price again. Hex price at 4.2 cents. We've got the top of the Bollinger Band at 7.1 cents. We got the bottom at just under 3.7 cents there. So quite a big range opening up there for the price, but we're obviously on the negative side. We've got the 50% Bollinger Band mark in red there. That's currently 5.4 cents at the moment. And of course, the EMA, the yellow there, just indicated a trend reversal. Seems to be playing out here. We had a pretty steep trend reversal, so we had optimism that we might actually cross back over. That did not play out. And of course, down we go with the Jerome Powell news. So that's pretty much ended that opportunity of crossing back over quickly with the Jerome Powell news. And of course, there we are with the EMA 13 currently at 4.7 cents. And there we are trying to find some support there at the moment. So, we could reasonably go back down 3.5 cents again. We'll be watching that with the open of the stock market this week and see whether it will set some tone there. But yeah, 4.2 cents at the moment. Let's have a look at some of the other indicators as well. We're going to look at the DMI. We've got the sellers slightly in control here. Very big fight here between the buyers and sellers at the moment. So, at this 4.2 cents, very big fight here going on. Let's have a look at the RSI here. Pull back down here. So plenty of room to move if we want to decide to have a move up, but plenty of room to move down too. We've got, this is kind of where we didn't want to be. We were moving up with the buyers in control, so more of a bullish signal. That's gone bearish again. So we got stuck down here. You see it before, get stuck down here in the oversold territory. So we're still stuck there at the moment. So, yep, still trying to find a bottom at the moment, but 4.2 cents holding at this stage. So there we are. All right, so let's jump away to the quad charts as well. We've got Hedge, of course, was doing pretty well overnight. Let me just get rid of the comment that I had. Bam. And let's get to the comment here. So we've got 3,164 or 316 if you're going to use 8 decimal places for the Hedge chart. Obviously, the star player, and of course, was becoming a bit of a hedge as well for the rest of the market. We had Hex, people swapping Hex over to Hedron. We had people swapping Maxi over to Hedron and some of the transactions there. We also, obviously, people want to mint their WhatsApp NFTs. And of course, we're coming up to the end of day 13. There's 14 days in the WhatsApp minting phase. So we're coming up to the end of that. And of course, people, one of the key currencies that people have to use, or cryptos, I should say, is Hedron. And of course, the higher the price of Hedron, the more points you get in the pool. So that's a key catalyst for the drivers of this price rising. So you're going to have to be very careful in a day's time as we head towards the end of the WhatsApp NFT and the factors pushing up the price of Hedron at the moment. So you're going to have to be very careful in terms of buying in or that. So that's up to you to think about that. But definitely one of the factors that's driving this, the WhatsApp NFT purchases will be over. So just take them into account. So you have to look at other supply and demand factors there that will keep pushing this higher. So something to think about there. Just one of the catalysts in any case, a very important one, is going to be disappearing in a day's time, 24 hours time. Now, obviously, we didn't get into complete overbought territory. So there's always a chance that with this pullback, that gives us a lot more room to move up. So that definitely is a positive catalyst, or at least a positive condition at the moment. Yeah, looking not too bad. All right. Yeah, people might switch the Hedron too. You just never know. We'll see. Let's have a look at that KOSA. At KOSA at the moment, let's have a look at that. The KOSA there currently $1.24, pretty much tied to the Hex price and the HSI buybacks with the T-share valuations, and of course Maxi there is currently at a 67% premium versus Hex. Just a little weak at the moment. Obviously, this is actually the project that's going to possibly benefit the most in the next couple of weeks because of the Maximus Perpetuals and Team Token are launching. And so that's what we expect with audits to come through, and maybe by Sunday US time, the 28th, and then maybe a launch date announcement and a quick launch. Could be a very quick launch phase running for 3 weeks, 21 days. And of course, this token Maxi is probably going to be the one that benefits. But currently, it is a little bit showing a little weakness there at 67% premium over Hex compared to what it had been up at the highs here, 100%. But once again, maybe a bit like Pulse Dodge Coin, it is just waiting for the announcements and get some news there. So look forward to that. So this was probably a good, interesting play, possibly moving forward. When I say possibly, I mean it's very highly likely. But once again, it's not investment advice. Do your own due diligence there. Let's have a quick look at the BNB memes. BNB memes here, and we've got Pulse Dodge Coin under 0.4 of a penny on the BNB line there. Oh, big sell-off there on the chart. Look at that for Pulse Dodge. That is a big sell-off there. So cool. And I just saw recently that Twitter was sort of re-engaged. They've been not really doing too much. P33, this part of the Free Pulse team and Hot Pulse List team. That's down just under 11 cents there. Did have a bit of a spike down to 8.88 cents. Man, oh man. So not much happening in these charts at the moment. The BNB chain not doing too much here. I am kind of probably the one holding up the best, but still not a lot of fun there either. So there we are at the stage. Let's have a look at the airdrops. The airdrops at the moment. Let's have a look. We've got the weight token. It's currently at 6/10 of a penny, so that's weekend off. Let me just scroll it up there. It hasn't got an auto queue. So that's down at 6/10 of a penny. There's a bit of a sell-off there. Not surprising, people probably switching some of that weight token into some other assets like Hex or something like that. Who knows? We've got Pulsechain, and that is down to $3.13. Woo! Wow. So I did say that $2.90 or $2.95, something like that, was kind of my support line. But with these charts, they can do all sorts of crazy stuff. They can completely ignore TA. And of course, yeah, 290, I think the 290, 295 is where I said it could possibly next support. That's kind of the support here. So, you know, where it breaks out of this level, and away it goes. So that's definitely could come back further. Now we're still waiting for the staking. Apparently it's very soon, very imminent. So we're still waiting for the staking minting thing. So imminent's not imminent. Imminent for me is like next 24 hours. So soon is probably a better thing. It might be in the next week kind of thing. But let's see how we get on there. That might put a lot more life back into the Pulse Dodge there. Obviously, it's been a victim of Acosa launching and other things like that. That's just the way it goes. All right, cool. That is the charts. The Hex Whalebot, I don't think we've had too much there. 22 hours ago, we had 5.5 million there buy. We had a 5.9 million sold 21 hours ago. 4 million Hex sold 20 hours ago. So you're obviously seeing that play out in the Hex chart there. 8.5 million Hex sold 17 hours ago. So lots of selling there. What else? I think that's pretty much it. That is it. So what, that 4 big sales there from the Whalebot. And the market trying to hold on to that 20K BTC. That's where we are at this stage. But we are waiting. We've got 12 minutes to go. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, to day 1,000. Get excited. Bam, 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 bam. All right, cool. We got 12 minutes to go to day 1,000 to tick over there. We are liking it. That is pretty much the market update just before we hit 1,000. That was the market prices update. And of course, we're going to also get into the Acosa update for day 13 is finishing. We're going to go through all that numbers later on. We're going to get into liquid loans as well. So I've got liquid loans update. We're going to talk about that. We actually might talk about liquid loans update first. Then we're going to do Acosa. I think that's where we head to. But let's get back into the chat and see what's happening with everybody there. We're going to jump through some of that. We got Great White in the house. Morning all. Blair's in the house. Hi all. Good to see Blair as well. Mr. Cozzy Des says, I hope BTC goes down to 11K, so RH will launch Pulsechain. That's true too. And we're one day closer in that case. We got Crypto Dan. Hey, sweet man. Love from Scotland. Woo! Hey, Crypto Dan, a big shout out to you in Scotland and everyone else in Wales, Ireland, and England. Big shout out to you up there in the northern UK, or the UK, I should say. We got GetHex as well. Yeah, I picked up some Maxi yesterday. Nice move there, GetHex. Yeah, I kind of feel that Maxi's the next big move because of all the product launches. And then maybe Pulse Dodge Coin after that. We may get a nice little sequence there. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Hexicans, Pulsehexicans, Hedronians from DX. Nice work there with that lineup. And Crypto Dan says, fill your bag of Hex even more, guys. Yeah, you got to accumulate dollar cost average, set those limit orders. That's the way to go. Rocket Mob says BNB really low. Yeah, we cover them because they're all getting airdropped over to Pulsechain. So all those projects. So that's why they're included. I'm actually going to cover. I was going to cover the Dodeca one too. We might cover that one too. Party like it's 1999, says Danielle. Daniel, that is so true. That is so true. We got Hex Down Under in the house as well. Good to see you. What's Fresh Suit Man working on a Sunday to get money for more Hex? Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, that's the way you do it. You just keep accumulating with that old fiat stuff. We have 10 minutes to go, folks. Woohoo! 10 minutes to go. Let's get into the liquid loans update first. Then we're going to come back and talk about Acosa. So here is the liquid loans update. Now, obviously, the sacrifice, you can go check your sacrifice balances if you sacrifice for liquid loans. It is the biggest third-party DApp sacrifice, likely to be the biggest third-party DApp on Pulsechain probably. There's always a chance for a couple other ones to be very big, but definitely check out the sacrifice. That is, you've got a couple of days to go. And of course, in the update today, we had an update today from the liquid loans team with the CC there and Matt. And of course, you can watch that in full. I'm going to post that in the chat there as well. Let me just copy URL. If you haven't checked that out, that will be of interest to you if you participate in liquid loans. If you haven't, of course, it won't be so much, but definitely check that out. Now, we have got the sacrifice balances counting down 3 days and 23 hours and 8 minutes to go. And then the sacrifice points balance, just check your website, closes at midnight UTC on the 31st of August. If you have questions, please visit. Now, if you don't have it, if you have not checked, and if you find any issues after this date, it's closing off. It's going to be finalized. The SAC's finalized. I like that too. I think that's a good process. They've given plenty of time for people to check. So go and check it. If you haven't, you're at 3 days, 23 hours before they close it off in total. And of course, here is the wonderful site with all the sacrifice points. Very impressive stuff. And of course, you can download all the balances. You can do all sorts of stuff. And you can report any issues there as well. We've got the support button there. And of course, you can do all sorts of stuff there in terms of support and things like that. So check it out. That is the site. And of course, the full update here, 13-minute update from Matt and CC. Definitely check it out. But we're going to play an update because part of this update included a liquid loans update. So we're going to play that now. So stay tuned. This is an update about the liquid loans DApp coming up. And let's check it out.
A lot of progress has been happening behind the scenes with the liquid loans dev team. Is that right?
Yeah, look, we're really, really pleased. We had a discussion today with the team. It was a really solid discussion where we're just narrowing down. So one of the things people need to understand is, and I think I might have used this phrasing in the past, you need to go slow to go fast. So what does that mean? You can't rush things out the door because you need to do the appropriate level of testing. And so we've got a really robust QA process. And ultimately, there's a lot of issues that come up. The developers find issues. It then goes through a testing phase and then ultimately gets signed off by our QA team. Because sometimes, it might take you an extra day or two to get through that process, but it saves you 10 of pain and suffering because you haven't done the level of QA required. Really happy with the way the team's going. We've probably got, I think there's about 5 outstanding issues that we need to resolve. They're not major issues. They're fairly cosmetic, but we still need to go through that process. So the aim is that, my expectation is by the end of next week, we'll have the DApp available to the community. One of the things that we will do, though, is because we're still waiting for all the SAC balances to be resolved, and the reality is even though we're closing the books at the end of the month, it'll still take us a week or so just to get all the balances updated. So we won't be actually providing people with their SAC balance in terms of we won't be airdropping any test tokens to anyone, right? Not at this point in time. What we will have, however, is a faucet. So we'll have a faucet available. And realistically, what people will find with the DApp is you'll be able to go into the DApp. I would hope that most of the community has some test pulse available. So if you don't have test pulse, a good idea to get a hold of some. Because you'll be able to use that test pulse to actually then mint your USDL and use the mechanics of the system. The only thing you won't have is the loan token. So using the faucet, you'll be able to mint or obtain a loan token to use in the system. And we'll go through and Matt, that we've got a fairly detailed schedule of how we're going to educate the community. And part of that is to do a high-level walkthrough. Obviously, we want the community to just play with it and come back to us. And again, this is where the ticketing system is going to be quite helpful because once we do that, we do want feedback. And not everyone is able to provide feedback in other methods and may want to do that in an anonymous way. So the ticketing system will give them that opportunity. So if there's any enhancement requests or any queries around certain transactions that within the DApp, the ticketing system will help people and help us to obtain that sort of anonymous feedback on the way it's working.
Awesome. Exciting times ahead.
All right, so that is the update regarding the Liquid Loans DApp coming up for testnet, public test network. And of course, we'll be able to play that on Pulsechain. They're going to have a faucet, of course, for the loan token, and we'll be able to get Pulse on a Pulse test network and play with that. So it's going to be pretty cool. Now, obviously, the sacrifice balances are also going to wrap up in just under 4 days. So you got to make sure you check your balances. Now, there's only been one sacrifice. So that's it. There's only one sacrifice that was months ago. So there's no second round of sacrifice. So that's pretty much it. So that is pretty much the sacrifice there in terms of the update. The other thing, of course, if you're waiting for the DApp will be coming up. So we're going to have a quick look at the DApp here with the liquid loans. This is what we're going to be able to play with on test networks soon. All right, so that is the update there for liquid loans. Pretty cool. Well done to Matt and CC and liquid loans for all the good work. They're progressing pretty nicely. We've got currently 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes to go until day 1,000. Woohoo! Now it's coming up there, folks. We're not going to leave the screen. I don't want to miss the clock over there to day 1,000. So let's stay on the screen for another 2 minutes. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get into a COSA update for day 13. That's coming up just after we clock over to day 1,000 here on Hex. It's going to be a lot of fun. Woohoo! 1,000 days. Can't believe it. Seems like we've been waiting for 1,000 days for 1,000 days. And we got here. We got to 1,000 days. Insane. And now if you were way back, now it doesn't matter when you get into Hex because you're all Hexicans, but if you were way back at the first day of the AA lobby there and all that, and you think about all the stuff that was going on, could you imagine yourself being here 1,000 days later and so forth? So it's pretty awesome. Really is great. And hey, look, we've got people got 5 stakes. There's another 4,555 days until the first 555 matures. And so it's a long life, long multi-generational project is the Hex project. So we're still very early days. Very early days indeed. But DB says, so today is good day for Pulse launch, sir. We are 1 day closer, DB. We are 1 day closer to Pulsechain. That's what else there. We got party time, says K4K. That's right, party time indeed. Great to see K4K in the chat there. And hey, a big shout out to all the content creators spreading the word around Pulsechain and Hex. Here we are in the last final minute. 23:59:29, 30 seconds away. Woohoo! For 1 day, we're getting there, folks. Nice UI for liquid lines. Yeah, great white. Yeah, there's very nice looking UI. Hello, everybody. Congrats, day 1,000, says James Bond. 20 seconds to go. Here we're counting down to the final 10 seconds. It's going to go through the web. Dang it, says DB. Dang it. And Hex and Batman as well in there with the hugs. Looking good. It's close. Drinks for next 1,000. That's right. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. It's probably going to take a second for it to tick over to 1,000, but that is pretty awesome. We did it 1,000 days, and it's probably going to, I'll refresh it, but it's probably going to take a second to reboot the number there, and just wait for that to tick over. It's going to happen. Well done, everybody. Woohoo! Hex on fire. You got it, man. 1,000. Absolutely pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it. It is pretty awesome. And, of course, we're going to have a little dance party with this, man. Excellent choice there. Woohoo! Partying on. I love it. Great stuff, everybody. 1,000. You can see it. Wow, it happened. Woohoo! Well done, man. Well done. Awesome, awesome. Well done to Hex. Well done to all the Hexicans out there. Well done to Richard Hart. Well done to Carl and all the other devs that made all this possible with all the mathematics, with all the share rate, the Nobel Prize worthy share rate, all that good stuff. Well done to everybody. We've got lots of comments here. D-Hex in the house there, 1,000 days. Woohoo! Absolutely rocking it. The Al's in there too with the fire on. Party on, Superman. You know it. You know it. We're going to have a little party here. This is the way we go. We're going to have to do a little dance party, and we're going to get into our COSA Day 13 results after that. But day 1,000 in the house there. Let's play a bit of Power City Core. Here we go. Boom. There we go. Woo! Here we go. All right, there we are. That's the dance party, man. We danced that party. Hey, you got to do a bit of a dance party on a big day like today. 1,000 days in Hex journey. Amazing. Bring on the next 4,555 days to get to that 5555. That is going to be absolutely incredible. Obviously, I think maybe what we're going to celebrate day 3,690 as well. I think that's probably going to be a pretty decent day. Blair in the house there. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, Crypto Kingdom. Cheers to the next Hex PLSX Hedron Millionaire a day 1,000. Hashtag Crypto Kingdom. Big shutdown. Big Superman bow down from me. And well done, man. Well done. Woohoo! Man, I got to take a break now. Got to take a break. I'll be back in 5 minutes. No, I'm not kidding. That was pretty cool. Katie in the house there. Yeah, party, party, party. Hopefully many of you were dancing at home because it was a pretty big deal. We've waited for 1,000. Now, yeah, it's going to be awesome. And to top in there, yeah. So all the people that were saying, you know, where was Hex going to be? Well, Hex is 1,000 days now. If people say anything adverse, you can say, well, Hex is over 1,000 days. What are you guys talking about? What are you talking about? It's over 1,000 days. So it's going to be so positive. It really, really is cool. See Isle in there. Superman, do you know what Dodeca is? Yeah, we might look at that price later on with the Dodeca. David Feder did a review of that project. You earned a break, Superman says, brilliant. Yeah. All right, let's get into it, folks. We're going to come back today 99 results. Now, obviously, tomorrow we'll have day 1,000 results, but it was cool to party that on. We're going to have day 999 coming up. It's pretty shortly. We're on day 98, and of course, we'll talk about that in about 15 minutes time or so. Let's get into it, folks. COSA results, day 13. Let's do it. And of course, we're going to refresh this. Bam. And we're going to get into our COSA results for day 13. Remember, it's a 14-day mint phase for the WhatsApp NFTs. The first 14 days have a particular pumpamental to them with the WhatsApp NFTs. And of course, we've seen the Hedron price pump. And of course, that is one of the key catalysts for that. So COSA staking, we've got, let me just zoom in this a little bit there so you can see. We've got COSA staking at 41.84 billion points in COSA staking. And let me just zoom back out there. It's probably a little bit too close. So 41.84 billion points for COSA staking. We've got 71,050 trillion points for Hedron staking. So a pretty impressive, keeps going up and up and up. Let's have a look at the WhatsApp. We are all SA. SA means source account. We've got 18.33 trillion points for WhatsApp. 18.33 trillion points for WhatsApp. We've got the average NFT size. Oh, wow. It's gone below 1 billion. It's now at 996.72 M points. So we've had a lot of players coming in there. That's changed. It's gone below a billion at 996 million M points there. So a pretty crazy number. It's about $1 a million points. So that's pretty crazy stuff there. The total supply, 18,399 watts of NFTs. Yeah, boy, that is really climbed really fast. Look at that, just ticked over 18,400 watts of NFTs. There is 1 day to go. 1 day to go to get your watts of NFT, and this is going to be pretty crazy. Are we going to get over that 20K mark? Sure we are. I'm sure we're going to get over that. Just how much more is going to be the interesting number there. You've got 1 day. Now, how do you get them? Of course, you have to use ETH, Wrapped ETH, USDC, Hex, Hedron, and Maxi to buy them pretty much. So you have to use any of those. We're going to talk about those numbers shortly. Pretty crazy. Now, also, the only way to technically get a COSA in the well, it's not the only way, but it's the main way to get a COSA in the first 30 days is HSI buybacks. That requires Hex. You have to sell Hex into HSI stake, HSI buybacks to the ICOSA contract. Obviously, you can buy Hex ICOSA now on the market. And of course, you can emergency in stake, for example, Hedron stake, but you wouldn't really want to do that, right? Because you're going to smash yourself with penalties. So things like that. Let's jump on to the numbers now. We're going to look at the blockchain. We've looked at the points in the staking pools. Let's look at the numbers on the blockchain in terms of tokens. Let's have a look at where we are with the ICOSA supply. So we've got 953,000 ICOSA on the end of day 13 with 1,019 holders. And of course, if we add up the total ICOSA, which is actually really like liquid ICOSA with the staking ICOSA, we're going to add that up. So let's do that. 953. So we've got 953,000 plus. Let's add up the function number 18, ICOSA stake there, 9.7 million. So 9705. And of course, that puts us at 10,658,000 ICOSA. And of course, we know that in November, from the 14th onwards, we're going to have massive HSI auctions. And of course, a massive Hedron burning, a massive inflationary event for ICOSA. Obviously, ICOSA there with the burning divided by the share rate, getting the ICOSA yield. And of course, that's also going to flow into that inflation is going to flow into ICOSA stakers. So if you're early staking, you're going to be picking up all that juicy inflation. So it's going to be pretty nice as a div. So looking very nice, as we say. So that is the ICOSA supply. So just over 10.6 million there, if you include the staking amounts. Let's have a look at Hedron. So that is the ICOSA. We're going to look at Hedron now in terms of the actual tokens. And of course, the Hedron supply. Let me refresh this. We got 96 trillion Hedron. Woo! It's mind-blowing numbers. Mind-blowing numbers here. 96 trillion Hedron. Let's have a look at the amount of staked Hedron there. So 16.7 trillion there. Remember that when you stake a COSA, it gets burned, just like Hex does, and you remint it. With Hedron, it just goes into the staking address here. We've got 16.7 trillion Hedron stake there, and of course that is 17.38%. Obviously, if you adjusted the Hex Godwell, the Origin account, the SA accounts, stuff like that, you would end up with a very high staking number. I don't know what that is, but if you've seen any, let me know in the chat. And of course, let's go to the. I think that's it. That's all we're going to talk about there. So it's currently 17.38% is currently staked in the contract there. So let's jump over to that is the ICOSA staking in Hedron. Let's jump over to We Are All SA, the WhatsApp there. So you can see WhatsApp, that's what we're talking about when we say that. And of course, let's have a look on the blockchain. And we're going to scroll up here, refresh. There we are, 18,410 watts of NFTs. Mind-blowing, man. Mind-blowing. And of course, we've got the extra numbers there, 5,528 holders. These are special holders here because after the next day, we've got 1 day left to go. You're going to have to be able to buy this on OpenSea or something, or you're out of luck. You're out of luck, and people are going to start charging prices on those. So you know how it works. It's already high priced at the moment on the OpenSea. If you ask me, I went through just about most of them yesterday on the OpenSea NFT sales. After someone told me, said that they paid $60 or $70 for what's an NFT, they sold it for half an Ethereum. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a 10x or something. And so yeah, I kind of feel sorry for the person that bought it. But hey, that's markets for you. That is markets. So yeah, crazy numbers. So we got 18,410. We divide that by 5,528. It's a simple ratio there. We got pretty crazy. What's that? Pretty much a 3-to-1, a 3-to-1 there. So pretty amazing numbers there. I think I did something wrong with there. I think that's 3 divided by 5,528. Yeah. So yeah, 3.33. So 3.33 watts of NFTs per wallet holder there. Pretty crazy. Let's have a look at the holders. The holders, of course, the big whales. Look at these things. Look at all the NFTs that are held by some of these top whales here. That's some pretty amazing stuff. Now, obviously, if you're going to go into the What's NFT pool, you want to get lots of NFTs, because as soon as you pull out, you want to claim your ICOSA, you pull out that NFT, it gets burned. You're out of the pool. So the pool only gets smaller, smaller, and smaller over time. And of course, I think it's going to have its first shrinking in November. When we get these at the end of November, probably at the end of these HSI sales. So I think we might get some people trying to capture yield. Maybe if there's a price pump as well, we could potentially see a bit of a first wave of people exiting the what's the NFT pool there. Once you're out, you're out. And of course, this number, we got 18,400 at the moment. Whatever the number is in a day's time when we finish tomorrow, this will be the final number. And of course, it's going to be limited in supply. Remember, they earn ICOSA, plus they earn 100% of the ICOSA bonuses, the staking bonuses, I should say, from the pools. So it's going to be pretty crazy stuff there as well. So that's why these big whales have got so many NFTs, so they can just claim at any time they think that's going to be beneficial to them. So pretty crazy. Now, to get onto the first page, you need 25 NFTs now. Yesterday it was 21, I think. You now need 25. In terms of numbers to get on the first page. Obviously, it's the actual dollar value or point value that's more important. But yeah, let's see how we go. So that there, folks, is results for day 13 for ICOSA staking and Hedron staking and WhatsApp NFTs. Let's actually look at if you're going to get to WhatsApp NFT. Remember, you have to use different currencies. So let's have a look here. You have to use ETH, Wrapped ETH, USDC, Hex, Hedron, or Maxi. So we're going to have a look at the Hedron deployer where those funds go to. Let's check that out and refresh this, get the latest and greatest. Let's go into the details. And of course, we've got 13.4 million USDC value in here, just under 9,000 ETH. It's a little bit less than yesterday, obviously, because the market prices have pulled back after the Jackson Hole Symposium with the Fed Reserve there, giving a very hawkish tone around interest rate rises. As I said, we're probably going to get a 75 to 100 basis point rise. So that's something to think about on the 25th September. So we've got a window of opportunity in the markets up to that point, assuming we recover this week after we may have a down day on Monday, Tuesday, possibly. We'll see how we get on. So we've got at the moment 517 Ethereum in the Hedron deployer, $773,000. Hedron looks like about just under 1.9 trillion Hedron there. That's worth $5.9 million. We've got Hex at 71.8 million Hex is in this Hedron deployer. This is in addition to all the HSI Hex that's gone into those. So I don't know. I'm just doing quick numbers off the top of my head, but we could be talking about 200 million Hex or something like that that's gone through this contract since ICOSA launched in 13 days. So it's a pretty big, significant number there out of the circulating supply. If you guys have seen my waterfall chart, you know that's what I've been focusing on. What is eating up the Hex supply? And interestingly, yesterday, Richard Hart talked about the reducing the velocity of crypto movement in Hex. And of course, that's what I focus on this channel, right? Because that is the key over time. Over time, that is the key. And of course, these projects in the short term typically give short-term buy pressure to Hex as well. And of course, the next thing for us looking forward to that is the Maximus products coming out potentially. Very likely next week is my estimation, at least of a launch date in any case. So going to be fun, folks. Going to be fun. Now let's have a look at the USDC there. $2.7 million in USDC's gone in there. We've got $1 million in DAI. We've got 16.5 Wrapped ETH there at 24,600. But the big number, of course, is the Maximus here. 26.8 million Maxi, making it the number one whale. The Hedron deployer is the number one whale in Maxi, and with 26.8 million. And of course, this is after the Hedron deployer did a very benevolent act to another project, not the same project, to another project, Maximus, and burnt 1 million Maxi off the market, a third of the supply. and of course reduce the Maximus supply down from 294.3 million down to 293.3 million. That's amazing. And of course, we wait to see how much of that will go into, how much Maxi more will be burned when it goes into the team token. 20% of the Maxi going into team token is going to be burned. That's epic, a burning event. That's why I think that probably Maximus is the next big play. And we're going to watch to see what the market does with that. Obviously, that's going to be cool. Now, let's get into HSIs as well. So HSIs currently at the moment, there are currently 1,241 there at the moment. And of course, we're going to jump over to the Whalebot now. Let's get onto it. So we've talked about all that. Obviously, HSI buybacks have been very, very popular. So we've currently got that in the pool there. Now, obviously, I go through and I add up all the HSI setups in the Whalebot here. And this is understating. Remember, this is understating the numbers. But you can actually see all the HSIs that are made that are really large from the Hex Whalebot. This is the last one we had. 419,000 Hex was put in HSI 4 hours ago. The vast majority of these have been sold to the Okoza. So, yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff. There's another one, 337. So big numbers going through the Okoza, or at least the Hedron HSIs, and a vast majority of them being sold to the Okoza contract there. Now let's have a look. Let's have a look at the numbers. So I added up the Whalebot today. 3.8 million Hex gone into HSIs over the last 24 hours that are staked 5555. And of course, that brings our total accumulated Hex to 108 million. And this probably understates there. Obviously, it doesn't include all the smaller accounts that are sacrificing. Now, I'm not sure whether we've got Huey Daly has been covering a lot of stats there. He hasn't got any update at the moment. We'll probably talk about that later on today when he gives us an update. He's been doing a really, really cool update. And of course, 23 hours ago, he gave us an update about the Okoza buyback. 40,000 T-shares sold to buyback over 4,200 Hex stake instances. Now, I think this is much higher now, of course, but that is the numbers that we've got there, at least, that's coming up for sale in November. Insane in the membrane, bringing out the millionaires because they're going to have to buy up all this stuff. And of course, it's going to be a massive Hedron burn event, massive Okoza windfall as well. It's going to be a bit like the big payday for Hex. It's kind of like that. But it's going to run over like 14 days. But the first day will be the biggest. Yeah, it's going to be insane in the membrane. And of course, I did do a theoretical HSI buyback there. I have the number at higher number, but that is where we're looking at. I haven't got today's number in there for day 13, but I'll put that into the chart for later on. You can see massive HSIs, and of course the first couple of days particularly high, but the whole period will be like a big 14-day, I call it the fortnight big payday or something like that. So there we are. It's going to be pretty epic, and of course it's going to continue because the contract continues on. But of course this is the launch phase, so we expect very big bullish numbers straight out of the gate, and like you can see in the chart, this is self-evident. So that is the results for day number 13. We're in the final day of the What's a NFT. So this is the final day to get involved in here. And of course, to get involved, you need to either have ETH, Wrapped ETH, USDC, Hex, or Hedron, or Maxi to buy. So maybe once you buy the NFT, you don't own this ETH or anything anymore. It goes to the Hedron deployer. And of course, will the Hedron deployer, how benevolent will it be? How benevolent will the Hedron deployer be? Because so far we have seen it be very benevolent with the Maxi burning 1 million Maxi. And what else will this thing do? What sort of crazy stuff? Look at the tokens it holds. You can think about the possible combinations of actions that could possibly do. If it was a benevolent, if it was or at least had some degree of benevolence, it already has shown some degree. Will it act like the Origin account? That's going to be pretty interesting. And of course, as you know, I talk about the Origin account kind of being like the financial operator of Hex. Helps regulate inflation, it helps regulate APY, and of course helps protect investors as well. Into the staking class gets protected, so it's a pretty big deal. Now, the other thing, of course, we're going to have the Maximus project launch. That's going to have the team and the perpetuals launching. That's the next bullish thing. And of course, will the team DAO token is going to have a particular feature with the mystery box? And will the mystery box be a benevolent actor as well? Now, no doubt, given the ethos, the culture from Dipcatcher, the culture from Alex, these guys are really, they come very much seem to be incredible ambassadors for the Hex contract there. And of course, benevolence is just part of that ethos. So I'm looking forward to some exciting stuff there with the team token. So we're going to have a number of potentially, and this is no expectation from the work of others, of course, but potentially benevolent actors running all these second layer contracts on top of Hex. And we could have 3 major benevolent actors in the pool, all helping to support value in this ecosystem. The Hex token is no longer just a Hex token. It's like the name of this channel, but it is now an ecosystem and evolving powerhouse. It's an evolving powerhouse at the moment. And of course, we're seeing new innovations in smart contracts coming, like the D-Deck? I can't remember what it's called now. Let me just pull it up here. It's got such a funny name. Dodekia, there is, one of these innovations that's coming into the space as a more speculative point, but, paying out Hex dividends, you can't complain about that with all the trading going on in that project. And of course, that's just recently launched. And last time I checked it yesterday, it was over $1. So that's going to be interesting. 2.9 million tokens. So it's a bit of fun play. 3.9 million tokens, I should say. And of course, what else we got? The Power City Flex coming up too. This ecosystem for Hex is only just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You have to have patience, of course. The market will do what it's going to do. People will buy and sell. We still have large liquid holders of Hex in the market. And of course, if there's a risk-off environment, they risk off. Some of them, if it's a risk-on environment, they risk on as well. So in other words, they buy or they sell depending on what's happening in the market there. But pretty exciting stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed that, man. I'm pretty amped. That was pretty cool. That is ICOSA Day 13, the last day to get your Watts NFTs. Let's see how high we get. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a smash of 20K, and we'll have a big rush over the next 24 hours is my guess. And way to go, because it's much cheaper to get them through the DApp than to buy them on OpenSea at the moment, just letting you know that. So you may be able to find a deal on OpenSea, but I doubt it, unless someone's made some mistakes. That's the one you're looking for. If people have made mistakes there, that's the only deals you're going to really get there out of that. So cool. I think that's all I wanted to show on this chart. Let me have a look here. So very, very cool. I won't bring up the waterfall chart today, but I will bring it up tomorrow in terms of the Hex circulating supply being eaten up there at the moment. So cool. All right, we'll come back to Dev Huey. Hopefully he's going to have an update soon, but I'll get that later on. That is pretty much it. We'll probably do that in the second live stream. We got BTC at the moment at 20,000, ETH at 1488. We're trying to hold on to Bitcoin's trying to hold on to 20K. It's going to be interesting for the week ahead. And of course, the stock market's probably going to open up red, I bet you. If it doesn't, that would be a real surprise. It's far more likely it will. Haven't looked at the futures, but that's probably where it's going to go at this stage. Hex.com, folks. If you're new to Hex.com, join us for the journey for the next 1,000 days. And of course, if you're already in Hex, spread the word. Maybe from delivering leaflets around your local block to just saying something on an online chat. You decide, but spread the word. It's really, really incredible. The ultimate savings product on the blockchain. And of course, you're going to get a copy at the moment. Everything that you get on the ETH chain, you're going to get copied over on the Pulsechain. So that's pretty cool. 2-for-1 deal, which is 2.1 cents at the current price of Hex for each token. So pretty nice on that one. All right, cool. We're going to get day 99 as hot off the press with the Hex Daily Update. So we're going to talk about that. Before we do that, we're going to get into a few more comments in the chat. I have no idea where I was up in the chat there. What time is it now? 12:24 here in good old Kiwi land on a Sunday. So, yeah, that's just the way it goes. Tintop says next milestone, 1095 is the next milestone. I like that, Tintop. C works in there. Got to do one last what's it today. Yes, like a boss, C3. Yeah, boy, says James Bond. Woohoo, boom. What's up? Hexicans Crypto King in the house. And we had very low gas fees lately, 3 to 6 Kuwait. You're absolutely right. It's been a good opportunity to do all sorts of things, swapping, staking, unstaking, whatever you're going to be doing. Crypto King says RH made it back home in time to make some Watson moves, says Crypto King. I like that. Juicy inflation. I like that too. Will we get a duplicate copy of Hedron on Pulsechain? Yes, everything on Ethereum is going to get copied over there, Jennifer. And Brennan said yes too. What else do I got? I'm going to jump through some of this. Vets in crypto, bang, bang. Love you, suit man. Thank you, brother. Hey, a pleasure, man. Hey, you guys all love Pulsechain and Hex. I love Pulsechain and Hex, so it's a pretty easy thing to do. Yeah, we've got well over 100 content creators, and of course, they all got different personalities, different perspectives, different approaches, different show types. and of course they're spreading the word as well. We've got lots of people in the community that are like ambassadors of Quan, as it were. Ambassadors of Quan, ambassadors of Hex, ambassadors of Pulsechain. So that's pretty cool too. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Yeah, definitely subscribe and hit the bell. What else did we go in there? Chomp those copies. Yep. What else there? A bearded saint in there with the hearts. Love it. Val there with the rainbows. Torren there as well. What else we got going? We're going to jump through some of these. Val says the poor pleb sacrifice is ended now. So I actually wasn't going to talk about that, but let's quickly pick that up before we get in the Hex Daily stats. Just quickly. I haven't checked those out. Let's go in here. And I'm not sure if that poor pleb, there it is there, poor pleb. Let's see there. It looks like this is actually finished. I haven't really covered this project, as you guys know, but $1.2 million, man, that's got to put it in the top 10 projects there, easy. So well done if you participated in that. And it's not that poor, is it? Poor pleb is not that poor at $1.2 million. Poor pleb just got a lot richer. Let's put it that way. I have not really covered this project. I don't actually know much about it other than the name, and a couple other content creators have covered it, but that's pretty much it. So, yeah, there we are. Well, there's the top whales, though. $160,000 at the top there. Pretty big participation there as well. What's the top 50? $200 to get in the top 50. Pretty crazy stuff there. Oh, big finish in the sacrifice. What's going in there? Hex. How much Hex is in there? Not too much Hex. That's good. I actually don't like seeing a lot of Hex come into these things sometimes. Just depends who it is, of course. But lots of US dollars and other tokens. That's all right. That's a big finish there for that project. Number of wallets. So not many whales from the looks of it. It's a decent amount in the 25 to 50K range though. And distribution's okay. It's got some heavy top ends, but it's not too bad there. And of course, $1, 10,000 points per $1. That's pretty much what it was. So that's it. That's as much as I know. That's as much as I know now. I know more than I did before. There we are. That's a poor pleb. All right, let's get on to the Hex Daily stats. Woohoo! Rock on. Let's do that. We're going to get into it. Let me just. I've got a couple more comments. I can get through these quickly. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Smash the likes. Is DHex. Refine's excited as well. Warhammer says, I only have a few HSI created. Do you think it's worth to create more Warhammer? I think that you really need to decide that Warhammer. It's like content creators really shouldn't be giving investment advice. I mean, we're just giving our opinions. But HSIs depends what you're going to do with them. If you want to create HSIs, they give you more flexibility in your Hex regarding the Hedron and of course NFT stuff. So you got extra features with HSIs. If you're going to tokenize them and sell them to the ICOSA contract, that's really up to you what you do there in terms of getting ICOSA. If that's what you're going to do, you are trading up the Hex, and if you have a launch bonus in there, you're trading that over too for ICOSA. So you're going to play that out. Obviously, if you're staking ICOSA with the November inflation coming for ICOSA, and then it might play off for you. But once again, you need to think about those factors there. Congratulations, Paul Pleb, says Vets in Crypto. Yeah, congratulations to those who have participated in that. And that's as much as I know. I still don't know exactly what the project's doing, but there we are. Another what's it done? That's differently. My last, but didn't say that yesterday, says Great White. That's hilarious, Great White. Congratulations to you, Great White. I wish you the very best with that. I need to see and experience Pulse in order to love it, says DB. It's one day closer, DB. One day closer. Chris is in the house there. Yeah, party. You're 1 day, 1,000. Pretty cool. Got it. Thank you, says Warhammer, and you're welcome. All right, so cool. We're up to day 999, and of course, these are the results. Tomorrow we'll be covering the day results for day 1000, and of course, we are on day 1000. Isn't it beautiful? Does that look beautiful? Let's have one more look at that. Look at that. That's day 1000 there. That looks gorgeous. I don't know. Never thought 1000 would look so good, but there it does. Looks really cool. All right, enough of that flattery there. Let's move on. Day 999, 27th of August. We've got the price at just on 4.2 cents, down 8.5%. Obviously, on the back of the markets and the Fed call, more hawkish, of course. Looks like they're actually going to try and tackle inflation now, so that's kind of the impact there. Payout per T-share is 6.3 Hex per T-share, so we got some nice penalties yesterday. Second best day of all time, 13.2 Hex, and we had another day that was it 12.9, something like that, and we had a day that was 24 Hex as well, which wasn't, it was a great day for payouts, but it wasn't a great day for a certain part of the community. T-share price there at $975, so it's under $1,000 to get a T-share at the moment. But of course, it's only a third of that price if you want to stake for 10 years long. The share rate has gone up 8.2, and of course, this is part of the speciality of Hex with the T-share rate reflecting compound returns, and so you can't do better staking short term than long term, all that sort of stuff. And it does kind of creates a fair opportunity as you come into the project over time, give or take the changes in the share rate there. And of course, that's $23,275 to get one T-share, but you can get that for a third of the price, third of the amount if you stake for 10 years, because you get 20% more shares every year that you stake your Hex. And of course, you burn your Hex when you stake it, and you get to mint it back when it matures. That's pretty much what happens there. And you obviously swapping it for shares there. Average stake length 6.57 years. So it's up from yesterday, which is pretty nice. These HSIs definitely been helping as well. APY rate, yield, and early emergency in-stake penalties 38.68% after yesterday's absolutely monstrous 81.2%. Pretty nice. 38% is fantastic. And then you got 81. It's kind of insane in the membrane. I love it. And of course, it's part of the fundamentals of Hex, and it's pretty cool. Liquid pool there is 273.4 million Hex in the pool. So plenty of Hex, but it's not a lot of Hex. It's a lot of Hex, but it's not a lot of Hex. And given what's coming down the pathway there at the moment, liquid pool is a 10.8 million US dollars. So we're definitely down a lot from the last couple of days, but 14.5 million. Obviously, we have liquidity movements as well included in this, not just the market price. We've got 1,141 Ethereum in there. And of course, what else we got going on here? Let's jump away. We got T-shares is down 1,803. Yesterday, obviously 28,000 there with that big OG, Hex OG there. And of course, ended up with a massive payout, but also they're sitting on a lot of Hex in their wallet. I understood they had limit orders in place. I haven't seen much change to that, or at least an update on that one. We've currently got 10,437,000 T-shares in the pool. So remember, Hex is simple to understand. We have a reward pool with inflation and penalties, and then we have an ownership pool with T-shares, which stands for trillions of shares in the ownership pool. So we got 10.4 million T-shares, and of course we got the reward pool every day. And of course, if any of those two change, the reward pool or the ownership pool, then the Hex payout per T-share changes. And typically it will change if we get a lot of penalties in the reward pool. Typically it will change in the ownership pool if we get a lot of people unstaking or staking in that case. So that's how that moves around. What have we got? The total supply. Let's jump through here. Nothing much to look at there. We're going to look at the stake percentage of coins. 9.64% of all Hex is staked on day 999. And of course, we're just entered day 1000. Another great day. If Hex is really all about T-shares, for those, and if you stake your T-shares, you're going to get paid Hex every day. That's really the big deal there. That's in terms of yield. Obviously, the price impact is a much bigger part of your yield, like dramatically so. But of course, that moves around a lot. Currently, we're at 3.2 million in Hex and penalties after yesterday's monstrous 147.5 million Hex. That's pretty amazing. And of course, that goes to you T-share holders there. So let's have a look at the numbers. The growth numbers have been spectacular, particularly since ICOSA launched. We're up at 221 increase in stakers, up to 106,619. The current holders up 196 in terms of wallets, up to 309,434. Those are kind of our two headline numbers, but we do have total holders up 470 to 489,771. We're almost at 500,000. That's our next big milestone here. That's pretty much it. So cool. These are the staking numbers, really, really nice. And of course, I can't wait till we get into 4-digit numbers. We did have a 4-digit number back on day 983. And of course, that's going to be a bonanza for HSI buybacks for ICOSA or Hedron auctions when it come up. So it's pretty neat. So that, folks, is the results for day 999. Now we've got the day starting amount from Hex per T-share, 6.13 Hex per T-share at the moment. And of course, that's for day 1000. That's our starting amount. We'll see what penalties we get today. But that's pretty much where we are. We've got the starting day numbers for day 1000, and the share price is $964 US, 23,275 Hex is the T-share rate. Those are our starting numbers with a starting price of 4.1 cents at the moment. All right, cool. That is it. Let's get out of there. And of course, we're going to have a look at our staking. We've got a big stake coming out on the 1st of September. Let's have a look at the staking ladder. We're going to zoom in just on the end of the year, though. We're not going to do a full 12 months. We'll just do the end of the year and zoom in on this. So this is what we've got. This is what the Hex stakes look like at the moment. And of course, we've got the front of the wave. These people that short stake, let's say for up to 90 days, 120 days. And of course, they keep scraping interest and rolling. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them do that. And of course, we have these candles at the front. But as you can see, if you know what the candles look like before, we used to have heaps of billion candles. We used to have all that stuff. It's really starting to break up over time. Very nice to see that. We've got 1 billion candle here, 1,265 million. This is a composite of many stakers. This will no doubt break up. How much gets sold down? Hard to tell. Typically, a lot of the interest, possibly. If the market's really bearish, we might see a large holder decide to swap into USDC. Apart from that, that's likely to just to restake. And we've got all these front stakers up here. So we've seen this to continue to break up. I suggest that it's going to pretty much continue to do that. There's always some that's going to be sold down, but we'll see it staked, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe longer, some of them. We will see 7-day stakes, 10-day stakes, all this, all that sort of stuff going on there as well as we head up. But way to go on that one. So cool. That's pretty much the stakes. So we'll look forward to that. That is on the 1st of September, that big one. So, but we have got, large stakes around it. So we'll see how they all get on. A lot of them will just keep restaking, is my guess there. That is the Hex stakes. Nice. That is it. So to jump out of there, Hex price currently at 4.155, trying to find a floor there. And we'll see how we get on. I guess 3.5 cents is kind of the next natural point here in this chart. We'll see whether it managed to get down to that or stay up higher. We've got Hedron at the moment at 3,207 on the right here. So that's Hedron holding up okay at 3,200. And, of course, Maxi there at 68 premium on Maxi. And I coasted there at 12.35. I would be with the Hedron there. I'd just be a bit more cautious. Not now, but as we head to the end of the WhatsApp NFT minting, just be a bit cautious about the price you're paying because obviously it's one of the key tokens used for the WhatsApp minting. And of course, the higher that price, the more points you get in the WhatsApp pool there. So just remember that. Yeah, let's see. Just be a bit more cautious in 24 hours. We could see a nice little pump up here in the next 24 hours, but just be cautious after that is my opinion there that I'm making, not investment advice. All right, cool. There we are. Let's jump out of there. We got Pulse Dodge there at $3.22. The plane is red, but we'll see whether we can. I'll make it green. I'll make it green. See whether we can get it moving somewhere else. All right, cool. Let's jump out of the Whalebot as well. The market it's just slipped under 20K. That's kind of where we are at this stage. Now, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, definitely smash the subscribe button. Hit the like button as well. Hit the bell for future videos. We're doing 2 live streams a day consistently. Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex, and plus all the cool projects on top of it. Maximus, Icosa, Hedron, and of course many of the Pulsechain projects that are going to add utility like Power City, Liquid Loans, etc. We cover a lot of those too. And of course we've got everything on our Discord, heading up to 700 members. I want to pay a big welcome to the latest members. We had Big Kahuna in there as well. We've got Johnny in there. We've got JB Media, Commander AAA. Welcome to you as well. Give you a Hex. I'm going to give you a Hex for today. That's day 1000. You get the Hex, and of course, maybe everyone should get a Hex today that joins the Discord. Get into it. Of course, we've got cool videos. Everything else, we've got useful links here. Everything on Hex and Pulsechain you could possibly want there is in here, including all the nitty gritties, Hex audits, and everything else you could possibly want. Get into that. We've got short video tutorials on Pulsechain and Pulsex bridge, and Pulsechain bridge, and you can get there and watch those. We've also got obviously all the new token links down here. To all the projects, Pulse Police, Pulsechain news with all over 100 projects, probably well and more than that now. We got the Pulsechain Sacrifice links as well. Pulse Hot List if you want to review some of those, get some some reviews, and of course a way to go on that one. And of course that is so. We've got cool information, but most importantly, we've got cool community. Get in there and say hello. That's the way to do. The links in the video description. Very, very cool on that. All right, man. Day 1000. I'm excited. You're excited. Let's party on. Let's party on here today. We've got a couple more comments, though, in the house, so we're going to get to that. Okay, was it MF in there? How's it? Good to see you, MF. Just made my first Hex stake, says Ryan. Well done, man. Well done. I've got to give you a Superman bow down for that, man. That is welcome to the family, Ryan. You are Hexican. Well done to that. Is so cool. Sandy Beach in the house. Woohoo! And Sandy Beach living the dream on the beaches at the moment and posting some absolutely alpha pictures there. Let's go into the non-crypto chat and we can actually see some of the cool pictures that Sandy Beach has posted. Look at that. That looks pretty nice there. Sitting on the balcony there, looking out at the beaches. That looks like pretty pristine to me. There's Sandy Beach living the dream. All right. What else we got? We got Hedge on here at the moment at 3140. Let's keep to that. We got welcome to the family, Brian, absolutely Brennan. World's falling apart, says MF. Hopefully not too much, but you're right. There is pretty messy out there for sure. We're going to try and do the best we can in Decentraland. That's pretty much. Did I say Decentraland? Decentraland. So I know there's a metaverse that called that. Dave Downer says ready for the hex pump now. Says Dave. Yeah, we're trying to find that bottom to bounce off. Rod Fitzpatrick says morning all. Good to see Rod Fitzpatrick. Imagine if Mt. Gox dumped their BTC. Hey, funny you bring that up. It's funny you bring that up, Mt. Gox. Here's the Mt. Gox cold wallet monitor. I don't know if they have night mode, but this is the monitor at the moment. They've got 137,891 BTC in the Mt. Gox monitoring there. Yeah, let's see how we go. Now, I don't know if he's going to dump it all at once because obviously people want it in different forms. There's also the Japanese yen, BCH as well. So it's pretty crazy stuff there. What's the last update there? 27th of April was the last transaction there. So yeah, we'll see how they go with the Mt. Gox. That is the wallet there. If you want to follow, if you want to monitor the Mt. Gox, I'll post this link in the chat there. It's a pretty cool site. All right. What else there? Thank you. Says Sandy Beach. You're welcome. Burke Lavera says, welcome, Ryan. You're one of us now. Absolutely. Welcome to the family, Ryan. Absolutely. And yes, Discord is where it's at. Join the Discord group now, says Vets and Crypto. Yeah, we've created a pretty good Discord. I think that if you want a good supportive place that's relatively safe, we kick out all the spammers and things like that as fast as we can. Then yeah, definitely get into our Discord. It's a great place to be. Now, if you want to join this channel, of course, you can join and support this channel. We got the join button. We got Pulsechains, Hexicans, and Richard Hart Club. Those are the 3 different clubs, and you can support this channel as well. It's much appreciated. Happy weekend, everybody, from Sunday Sydney. T-shirts on sale today. They are on sale today, so you can definitely pick up some decent T-shirts for sure. All right, so let's get out of here. We've got the quad charts at the moment. Now, I'm not too sure, but I'm thinking about possibly adding D-Decky there. Let me pull it up, actually. Let me pull up. I was going to talk about that, wasn't it? I've got to get used to saying it first. I'm sure I will. But let me just find that. Let me pull it up here. I wasn't actually going to talk about this, but we're going to talk about it now. D-Decky. I've just added it to the new token list here. So we'll put that in there. And D-Decky. This is David Fedder's done a review on this. I do like the basic idea of the fact that all the trades end up flowing into I don't know why it's not opening up very well, but I like how you get dividends and paid in Hex, which is kind of neat based on the trade. I kind of like that. If it would open up, that would be nice, but it's not doing that. Oh well, looks like I'm not going to be talking about this. Dodeca. So let me pull that up anyway on the chart. I want to pull that up on the price chart. Let me do that. I thought I had saved it, but it doesn't look like I have. I was mucking around looking at it yesterday. Dodeca. I don't know if it's spelled like that, but Dodeca there. No, it doesn't look Dodeca. Oh, here it is here. I might save that while we're here. I'll have to I'm going to put these in another list, but hey, that's the way it goes. Hex Dodeca. I'm just looking at liquidity here. 33K. What's this one here? 56K. I'm going to have to separate these out later on. 6-9. 4-8. So I think those are fine. So let's go to which one we want to go to. We want to go to the let's go to this one here, V2. So it's going up pretty much versus ETH there. So not bad. $1.02 at the moment. So this is kind of where I saw it yesterday, I thought. So maybe it was back here where I saw it, but it's seemed to be doing okay. Let's go to the contract and how many buys? Oh my goodness, look at this. 453 buys, 1,440 sells in the last 24 hours, $436,000 of volume. That's not too bad. A 3.7 million market cap. This is Dodeca. So yeah, 3,690,000 Dodeca. I think I said 3.9 million before. That was not correct. So 3,690,000. Like I said, I haven't really don't know much about this project. I just briefly looked at it earlier. Let's have a look here. So 406 holders, not many of them. And I think there's a contract address. Let's go down to contract read only. Let's have a look here. I think there was reward. So you get paid in Hex. People trading, then a part of that goes to buying Hex on the market and giving back to the people holding. I think that's how the mechanism works. Balance of buy liquidity fee and debt address there. A dividend tracker. This looks like the dividends. So let's have a look at the tracker here. It's got Hex in there. So presumably this is right. It's got 6,600 Hex in there. Now, obviously, it's just started, so it takes a little scraping off some of the trade stuff there, kind of like a tax, and then buying Hex with it from the looks of it. What else we got here? So we've got a big amount in here, 708, and then it's got all these out numbers here, possibly going to all the different holders, as maybe that's the way it looks. I don't know how it gets around the ETH fees though. The Dicker there, it's a swap. The Dicker, okay, it's got some fracks as well. So anyway, that's looks like what it's doing there. So very cool. Let me know in the chat if you've got Hex dividends yet. If you're holding this, let me know in the chat if you've got Hex dividends. That'd be very, very cool. Vet in Crypto says, welcome to new Hexicans. Absolutely. Vets in Crypto says, Malcock says he has not received and sent to the send to address from the program administrators. No news on that front today, says Vets in Crypto. Nice update. Appreciate that. Dodeca looks like one of those Tron smart contracts, maybe BSC smart contract like, says Berkliver. Does kind of look like that. I'm avoiding a Dodeca. No thanks, says Vet in Crypto. Excited for Maxi and loving that Hedron Okoza. I'm with you on that one there, Vets. It's probably one of those, it's just a speculative play, but you know, the Hex dividend is kind of a nice touch. Is probably the way I'd look at that. Now, if you want to see a full review of a Dodeca, check out David Feder. He will be covers that with his video. Yes, I got my Hex div, says pull up. Nice. Now I know it's probably small at the beginning, but maybe over time with all the trade volume, this will end up doing quite well. So anyway, food for thought. Check that out. It is on the new tokens list. I don't know why it wasn't opening up on my website, but it is there anyway. So another addition to I wouldn't call it a second layer, but definitely supportive from the sounds of it in terms of buying Hex and paying that as dividends. So that's cool. That's what we call it, a third layer project. How about that? All right, let's get into it. We got the price at the moment, Hex at 4.1. We're wrapping it up. We're going to wrap up the live stream today. Don't forget to smash the subscribe, hit the like button, celebrate everybody. Really good day. 1,000 days of Hex. You can't go too wrong with that, right? 1,000 days of Hex. Is that crazy? And if you ever heard anyone talk badly about Hex, like we had to deal with in the first year, and you can say, hey, Hex is over 1,000 days. It's growing. The stakers are growing. Wallets are growing. The ecosystem is expanding. It's crazy good. And, of course, Pulsechain is coming one day closer, sir. One day closer. When Pulsechain? One day closer. That's what we say. Bearded Saint says, I'm making bank and Hex holding Dodeca. Nice one, Bearded Saint. Shout out every Pulsechain Hexicant from Quebec, Canada. A nice one to Hex Bean. Big shout out. Hey, Michael Lawn, new member. Woohoo! And great to see you. Welcome to the Richard Hart Club. Nice one, Michael. I've got to do the Superman bow down. This was part of my tribute to you in return. So I do appreciate the support. Welcome. And, of course, don't forget to get into Discord. Let us know into Discord that you're a member. And, of course, some people have different profile names. And we will give you the Hex Token channel member colors as well. So definitely get into that. Big welcome. Yeah. All right. So cool. What else we got there? Welcome, Michael says, Sandy, absolutely. Making more than T-shares are on the 300 SAC plus at 5x on the Dodeca price is better Saint. Nice. That's pretty awesome. What else there? Dirty pause in the house there. Sooner or later, we will get there. Yeah, one day closer, sir. One day closer. All right. We're going to play out a couple of insight videos from Richard. So chase that around Pulsechain because it's a good place to finish. 1,000 days on Hex. We've got Pulsechain coming. Things are just going to get better. The market price is going to do what it's going to do with the risk on, risk off thing that the whole markets are all affected by that. But of course, we still have the ecosystem is going to continue to grow at a rapid pace. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got Power City Flex coming up at some stage as well. We're going to have more projects coming. It's going to be a very, very bullish environment for the Hex Pulsechain ecosystem. All right, so let's get into some of these comments here from Richard Hart. Pulsechain Pump Mentals. Catch you later. I'll be back in 5 hours' time for my second live stream. We'll do the updates then. See you then, and really do appreciate your support. Subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Catch you on the next one. Bye for now. Take care. Woohoo! 1,000 days. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Good call. Good call.
I'm going to go to Pulsechain. Does the world's largest free airdrop. Let's do it. If you guys have any coins on Ethereum, ERC20s, Hex, Hex Stakes, Ethereum itself, you're going to get a free copy of all that on a chain I created called the Pulsechain. You can go play around the testnet right now. Go play with your coins. Pulsechain.com. Awesome. It's going to help get the Ethereum fees down. It's got higher throughput. It's deflationary. It burns 25% or more of the fees. There's no inflation. It never mints new coins. And it's going to be the world's largest free airdrop. So people love free money, and they don't like high fees. And this addresses all those issues. It's really cool.
So I put 10,000 into it early, super early. I bought the rumor, right?
Right.
What kind of return?
I never speak about. I'm very careful as a founder. Elon Musk isn't, so he gets sued by the SEC all the time. I don't have a security. There is no critical managerial entrepreneurial effort. There is no pool into which people put money with the expectation of profits away from the work of others. This is very specific legal language I'm using to show you that Hex removes the risk of securities. There is no middleman that can screw you. You always mint your own rewards. You always perform your own labor. You are the network. You are the effort. And so I'm very careful to make price predictions. And I almost never make them. I do them for Bitcoin. I do them for Ethereum. But in Hex, I almost never make them. And it's also harder to predict Hex, to tell you the truth, because it's such, the price moves around so much. Right. It's harder to predict. So Bitcoin did 690 million%, which is a 669, what the hell? 690,000x it did. Ethereum did about 20,000x. It went from 31 cents at the crowd sale on average. You could have bought it earlier and got it lower, or you could have bought the dip on Kraken when it went to like 15 cents. Now it's $1,600, was 5,000. So it did probably 20,000x. Hex did a 10,000x. I can list you a lot of other coins that did a lot of X's. In cryptocurrency, doing a lot of X's is very possible. And so could Pulse do the same 10,000x that Hex did in the same time frame, or possibly even quicker? Yes, it could. The likelihood of that event, I don't know. And that's an important number. I cannot, I'm a smart dude, but I can't predict the future.
Just like you just said earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
So could it do a 10,000x in 620 days, 623 days? Sure, it could. That's what Hex did. Hex. So I when I invented Hex, I wanted it to outperform Ethereum, and Ethereum had done a 14,000x in 2.5 years, is what it did. It went from 31 cents to $1,400, maybe 1,500, depending on what exchange you're using. And it did that over 2.5 years. And I said, well, we've got better game theory. I coined the term pumpamentals. I don't use that term as often because people are, don't think it's as funny as they once did. And so like, we beat that target. And now, I look at the Pulsechain chat room, there's 60,000 people in it. I look at the Hex chat room, there's only 40,000 people in it. And Hex has been around for years.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think Pulsechain has a lot of really strong advantages in that it's easier to understand. Yeah, it's Ethereum, but it's faster, higher throughput, cheaper, and the world's largest free airdrop. And it saves the environment. Like,
no brainer.
No brainer. Right. Like, it's no brainer.
This coin does something. This thing does something.
Yeah.